Three friends and the house they couldn't afford. A story of bright, dynamic dreams.
In 2005, the Arizona desert was being carved into neighborhoods at a frantic pace. Look closely at these plotted dirt roads and foundations. Streets were appearing where cactus had stood just a year earlier, and builders were selling houses before the concrete was even poured. The engine driving this buying was financial leverage. At its core, leverage allows you to use a small amount of money to control a massive asset. As property values rise, the asset's appreciation easily outpaces the borrowed money, and a tiny investment rapidly generates layers of new equity. But that mechanism conceals a massive blind spot. During a boom, rising prices act like a safety net, ensuring that nobody is ever forced to actually test their margins of error. To see how those margins matter, look at three college friends who all bought real estate in Phoenix that year: Tom, James, and Ryan. They were identical starting variables. They were the same age, made similar incomes, and lived in the same city. Tom took a cautious baseline approach. He bought one modest home, put 20% down, and made absolutely sure his monthly mortgage payment never exceeded 24% of his take-home pay. James viewed real estate as a wealth ladder. He bought two investment properties with just 5% down, using adjustable rate mortgages to keep costs low. Then there was Ryan. He acquired an entire portfolio of 5 properties, using zero money down and interest-only loans. At the peak of a rising market, extreme leverage looks like a guaranteed path to wealth. Next to Ryan's rapidly expanding portfolio, Tom's strict affordability rules looked incredibly timid. This spreadsheet models Ryan's wealth, reaching $1.4 million by 2010 on unyielding market growth. But beneath the numbers, that projection balanced precariously on 3 fragile assumptions: endless appreciation, loose credit, and constant new buyers. When you compound your debt to this extreme degree, you're demanding that perfect economic conditions also compound endlessly to avoid a collapse. A mathematical projection fails as a financial plan unless it explicitly accounts for failure. By 2006, the buyers disappeared, builder incentives failed, and the headlines shifted to widespread panic. The economic environment abruptly froze. This graph illustrates the exact metric of the crash. From its peak in 2006 to the bottom in 2009, the Phoenix real estate market plummeted 43%. A decline of this magnitude actively destroys the mathematical foundation of any loan built exclusively for good weather. Because Ryan made zero down payments, that 43% drop immediately plunged his entire portfolio into massive negative equity. His interest-only loans provided zero cushion. As rental income dried up, the 5 properties initiated a rapid cascading failure, shattering beneath their own debt. James hit a different wall. His adjustable rate mortgages reset exactly as the market froze. To keep the properties afloat, he suddenly needed an influx of cash to cover the widening gap. His leveraged positions had consumed his available liquidity. Without cash, and without active buyers to take the homes off his hands, his inability to exit on time sealed his fate. This exposes the true nature of leverage. It multiplies financial losses, and it structurally traps you inside them by eliminating your available options. Ryan ended up bankrupt. His credit was destroyed, and he was forced to abandon homeownership entirely, marked by foreclosure notices on every door. James lost both of his investment properties, watching 10 years of potential wealth building evaporate. Tom's house also lost 43% of its value on paper, yet through the entire crisis, he remained secure. Tom did not predict the crash. His strict reliance on a fixed-rate mortgage and his absolute refusal to spend more than 24% of his income meant he retained the financial room to absorb bad news. His ultimate advantage over his friends was structural survivability, not market foresight. Boring conservative borrowing gets entirely ignored during the lucrative years of a boom. But when a crash inevitably occurs, that exact caution provides the oxygen required to survive the bust. The critical question to ask before taking on debt is not, how much can I qualify for?
Three friends and the house they couldn't afford. A story of bright, dynamic dreams.